Hello everyone, hope you're all good. So this is part 2 of a pork meatballs. Right, today I'm going to be making a super cost effective meatball bolognese using some 5% fat lean pork mince, which I've already made into meatballs. You can see how I made these in part 1 of an earlier video. So these are already made and defrosted out of the freezer. Just enough to make 2 portions. If you want to make less, just halve it, or if you want to make more, just double it. Most of these meals are aimed at single person or couples who want to save a bit of money and time. It's definitely worth having a decent set of scales to give you sizing and consistency, and they will actually save you a bit of money. So as I'm making 2 portions, the sauce I'm using is tomato and basil sauce for meatballs from Tesco's. I'm going to give you all the prices and all the weights at the end of this, and I'll put it in the description as well. So I need to measure out half a jar, which will give me 2 servings. So this is 500 grams, so I'll go for 250 grams. Slightly over, that'll be all right. 255 grams, I think that is. And the rest of that I can put in the fridge and make another batch next week or something. So I've got my sauce there, and that's going to be 2 generous servings. I'm going to put some mushrooms in there. I'll give you a price for all of this at the end. And that don't really need to do anything else to that. That's ready to heat up now. So I'll put that on the hob. Right, for the meatballs, I don't need these scales anymore, I don't think. Let's turn them off. Right, for the meatballs. So these meatballs is pork mince I bought, 5% fat. And they come out at a really good price, half the price of beef, and all they've got in them is some flour, some onions, some seasoning, and 1 egg yolk. But that's in another video, so you'll be able to see all that. So I've got 10 there. That's plenty for 2 servings. Could probably get away with 8. So very cheap. I mean, I will give you the price, and I sort of worked out roughly at the moment that the overall price of this is £2.55, so it's £1.28 per person, which is pretty good, I think, anyway. Generous portions as well. Right, so I'm going to put these meatballs in here. Right, these are going in the air fryer, and I'm going to put them in there. I don't want to overcook them, because even if they're slightly undercooked, they'll finish off in the pan on the hob with the sauce, because the sauce will just heat the meatballs, heat the mushrooms, and heat the sauce, obviously, and it's going to be ready. So everything's pretty much done. So I'm going to put these in now. I'm giving just a little squirt of oil. So really 10 minutes should be enough. I will obviously check it, but 10 minutes at 190 air fry. Right, so while that's doing, I'll just explain. Right, this is spaghetti I made earlier, so you're going to be amazed at the price of all this, how this all comes out so cheap. But this spaghetti is Tesco's home brand spaghetti, and the spaghetti itself is 280 grams, 80 grams per person. So you've got 160 grams of spaghetti. That was boiled for about 11, 12 minutes, drained well, and then drenched with cold water to kill the heat. Otherwise it just sticks together and becomes a congealed blob of pasta. So drained, heat is killed on it. The pan I cooked it in, I threw out all the water, wiped it out, put a tablespoon of oil in there, put it back on the hob. All the hob was turned off, but I put it back on the hob to use the heat remaining on the hob. And when the oil was warm and the spaghetti drained, I put the spaghetti back in the pan, put a sprinkle of garlic powder and a sprinkle of parsley, mixed it all up, and then dished it out to these containers. Now one of these will go in the fridge, so I'll do that. I will actually do that now. So I'll put one of these back in the fridge, and I can have that in the week. So my next bolognese, meatball bolognese, I will have to virtually do nothing at all. It'll be just got to heat it up, heat the spaghetti up in the microwave, 2 minutes, and the meal's done. So yeah, pretty easy. Once you've done it, there's not a lot else to do. So right, that's ready to go in. That will go in the microwave for I'll say 2 minutes 20, but not yet, obviously, because the meatballs are still cooking. Yeah, so when they're done, I shall return. Okay, so the meatballs have been in for 10 minutes. So I'm just going to check that they are cooked using a probe. Very handy little gadget to have for all these cooking recipes. So pork, 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees centigrade. So this is actually, let's have a look. Wow, these are cooked. They're cooked inside. So that's good. So just let me get these out. So that's all the air frying that you're going to be doing, basically. Let me quickly show you these meatballs. You can see the onions on there. I don't know if it shows up the colour on the camera, but they are actually brownish. I don't want to overcook them because they're going in the sauce, and that will cook up, finish them off. Right, so the sauce has been cooking, or simmering, I should say. So now I'm going to add these meatballs. Very easy to do, and I've got lots of onion in these. I added onions to these meatballs, a little bit of garlic, 3 different spices I had in the cupboard. I can't remember all. It'll be in the video when that's I done. 3 tablespoons of flour instead of breadcrumbs, and it seems to work, and a lot cheaper. And an egg yolk. You can use a whole egg, but I don't really like the white egg part of the egg. It's too slimy for me, so I just use the yolk and throw the rest away. And that seems to hold it all together, binds it all together, so it does the job. Right, so these just need to be turned into sauce, and they are going to be cooked now for another 5 minutes, just to get it all amalgamated in it. Right, so there's the sauce, and that's enough for 2 people there. Don't look bad. Right, so I'm going to put these back on for 5 minutes, I think will do. Alexa, set timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
Right, so while I don't really want to put the spaghetti on yet, it's a bit too early. Right, so I'll give it 2 or 3 minutes and then I'll come back, see what's going on. Okay, well, it's still cooking. While I'm here, I might as well just quickly go through the summary. So everything, the pricing and the weight, I will put in the description on the bottom. So I used 160 grams of Hearty food spaghetti, which is approximately 2 portions. It came to 10 pence. I used 500 grams of, I used 250 grams of Tesco tomato and basil sauce. The remainder I put in the fridge for meatballs, and that comes out with half a jar. That comes out at 40p. The mushrooms, about 100 grams, 35 pence. Right, the pork meatballs, I used 10, 5% fat, so good for the cholesterol. They came out, each meatball was approximately 30 grams when I made them. Well, actually, it was a little bit less. By the time you add the onion and all the other stuff to it, it comes out at about 30 grams. So you could say each meatball is probably about 25 grams. That came out, the 10 of them came out at £1.70. So that's basically everything. And then there's a little bit of miscellaneous with the spaghetti, you know, a little bit of basil, a little bit of parsley, a little bit of garlic, granules. So it comes out at, the 2 portions come out at £2.55, single portion £1.28. And I think that's pretty good for the money. £1.28 for a decent meal, and yeah, generous portions. You could probably get it down to about £1. Get it down to about £1 if you used 4 meatballs. And I think 4 would probably be all right. I've probably got a bit too much there instead of the 5. And if you wanted, you could leave out the mushrooms. That would take it down to £1 or £1. So yeah, that is a good price. So yeah, so this is one of the first cheaper meals I've made for a long time. Right, so we've got 1 minute and 35. So I'm going to put the spaghetti on now for 2 minutes 20 seconds. Yeah, no lid on it. Right. So it's all coming together now. Right, while that's doing, I'm going to pour myself a glass of fruity red to go with it. Just in case you wondered, the wine, it's nothing special. It's £3.49 fruity red from Tesco's. I'm not advertising Tesco. Probably get it other places as well if you looked about. Yeah, £3.49 works out about 88 pence a glass. As you can see, I've had most of it already. Never mind. And I don't have any more, so that's it. Right, so yeah, I think that's about everything actually I've said. So waiting on spaghetti, the bolognese meatballs is ready, thickened up. They're all ready to go, as you can see. What I will add to it, you don't really need any fancy cheese, but I'm just going to use plain old cheddar, extra mature, which does me fine. Alexa, turn off. Right, so the meatballs are done. just waiting on the spaghetti and we're ready to go. So I'm going to put a bit of parsley on, a bit of cheese on, and have a little taste. So the second half I'll put in this dish, and then I'll let it cool down, then put it in the fridge. That'll do me for another meal. I could freeze it. I don't have any room in the freezer. Don't think it tastes as good frozen either. I think it's better if it's just like settled in the fridge. I find if you put it in the freezer, for some reason it gets a bit watery, the sauce. Right, so this is done. Yeah, that's done nice. Right, so the spaghetti, which I made earlier, a fork. And as you can see, because I drained it, killed it with cold water, and then tossed it in oil, a little bit of oil, not a lot, in a pan, it just doesn't stick together. It's pretty much all loose. I don't know, it always seems to look a lot when I make it. I mean, it's only 80 grams. It does recommend, I think the recommended intake is about 70. But bearing in mind, I used to have like 120 and it was huge. But yeah, I need to stop all that business going on now. Right, so the spaghetti I'm going to add, you know, I think five meatballs is probably too much. I've made it now, so it's going to have to be 5, but it's a generous portion, and for how much it cost, pretty good value. I mean, I don't really do family of 4 meals, but not very often anyway. Yeah, I imagine the family of 4 would be £5. Yeah, £5. Yeah, probably £5. 2 portions for, yeah, £5 10p for a family of 4. That's pretty good, I think. And like I said, you can get it down. All you've got to do is just reduce the meatballs and reduce, well, leave out the mushrooms if you don't want them. Not everyone likes the mushrooms. Make sure I leave a little bit of sauce for the next time. I mean, if you want more sauce, I would just use 2/3, but a quarter, as you can see, a quarter's plenty. I mean, for me, that meal is like, you know, there is a lot there going on. Probably don't need any more than that. I would have garlic bread with it, but I don't have any. And probably the size of that meal, I'm probably not going to need any. So I normally have a couple of slices of the frozen garlic bread. Yeah, I know. I've got to watch the fat content of these meals because of cholesterol and stuff like that now. Before I didn't used to bother, but it's quite important now. Right, so that's ready to go. Once it's cooled down, that'll go in the fridge. Definitely the fridge. And here's the spaghetti, the meatballs. You can see that look too bad. Quite a big portion there. So I think I'm going to put a little bit of cheese on it. You don't need to do this, but you certainly don't need to use expensive cheese. Just a bit of cheddar would do. And that'll do. Well, a little bit of parsley just for aesthetics. Oh, it's got a nice sprinkle bit on it. So the cheese is already melted on the meatballs. Tiny little bit of parsley. And there you have it. Not quite sure what I've done with the fork. There it is. So there you go. So what did I say? £1.28. Well, that ain't bad, is it? For £1.28, and you could dock it down to £1 if you really wanted to, if you was that fussed about it. Let's give it a little try. Meatballs are the important part of this, so as you can see, can I show you this? Best way to do this. Right, so as you can see, the meatball is cooked inside, and then you've got your spices and you've got your onion. Very generous meal. And as you can see, the spaghetti does not even come close to sticking together. I don't know if I told you how much the spaghetti costs. The spaghetti, a pack of 500 grams is 29p. Oh, I can taste that garlic. I can taste the spices. I love the onion in the meatballs. I know not everyone likes onion, you don't have to put onion in, but to be honest, I'm not a great lover of onion, but in this sort of meal, I don't know, it just seems to make it another level, really. I don't think I'll be able to eat garlic bread with this either. Just too much of it. Yeah, you could probably get 3 meals out of this, to be honest. But it is there now, and I will eat it. So, that is handsome. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it's a bit long, but sometimes, yeah, I want to try and get as much across as possible. I can't always do that in a short period of time. So if you like the video, please give it a like and subscribe. And there is going to be another video, there will be another video, and that will be how I made the meatballs. Cheers to you and have a great evening. Thanks for watching, and catch you later.